It's World AIDS Day today, and in order to get more people to go for voluntary HIV screening, the social stigma needs to be overcome. Now, that's according to a doctor whose clinic is one of 10 in Singapore that provide anonymous HIV screening. His clinic has, however, seen as much as double the number of people coming for screening compared to when it first started the service in 2008.
We usually see a spike towards this time at the end of the year. I think World AIDS Day, with all its publicity surrounding it, has really raised awareness and more people does come forward for testing. I think it's going to be a long, hard road. At the end of the day, we are a very conservative Asian society, and anything to do with sex or sexuality, including HIV, is something that is not openly discussed at the dinner table or in public. We need to keep pounding at the problem. We need to keep raising awareness, educating people, and slowly but surely, I think we will overcome this stigma.
In the first half of this year, 155 new HIV cases were reported among Singapore residents. Only 12% of cases were detected as a result of patients coming forward voluntarily. About half were detected when patients were seeking treatment for other ailments. And about a third of these cases were picked up through what's known as programmatic screening. For example, if a national serviceman is screened for HIV. And joining us tonight to tell us more are Kevin Poe, General Manager of Action for AIDS Singapore, or AFA, and Avin Tan, also from AFA. Gentlemen, welcome. Kevin, what's Action for AIDS actually doing to mark World AIDS Day?
Well, today being World AIDS Day, we're proud to share that CSR program for Credit Suisse joined forces with our volunteers and staff to front the Red Ribbon campaign island-wide today to raise funds and to raise awareness for HIV and AIDS.
And for part of that, you're wearing a red ribbon, I see.
That's right.
As well.
Yes. These are specially handmade by staff from Credit Suisse.
Right. Avin, let's bring you in on this conversation. You came out as being HIV positive just 2 years ago when you were 27 years old. What prompted you to do that?
The lack of voices and perspective from a person living HIV, and really to fight my own fight and to show how living HIV has progressed so far and today.
What has the reaction been, though, since you came out?
Oh, there's been a lot of support. It's been generally quite good. My family and friends have stood up and they've showed their love and concern for me over the last 2 years.
All right, so Kevin, you know, after more than 2 decades of AIDS advocacy, of course, the public attitude towards the disease has changed, but, you know, how so?
I think while the level of knowledge and awareness has increased over the years, I like to call the ugly twin sisters, stigmatization and discrimination, still lingering around. How are you actually seeing that? How is that being voiced? Well, you see that from 4 factors. The 4 factors that contribute to stigmatization. Number 1, HIV is considered a life-threatening disease, hence the strong public reaction. HIV is considered or associated with certain behaviors. Homosexuality is one, promiscuity, and drug abuse. And third, HIV is sexually transmitted, hence there's moral baggage that comes along with it. And fourthly, it's considered a personal irresponsibility. And on a religious front, deviant sex that ought to be punished.
All right, so has that stigmatization and the discrimination that you've described there, has it actually hampered the efforts of AFA at all?
Well, you see, on a personal level, it would be quite difficult for somebody to come to terms with HIV, let alone seek help and treatment based on the stigma surrounding it. And at workplace, people living with HIV fears losing their jobs and their rice bowl. And at a national policy level, we still see travel bans imposed on 41 countries, and that's the last of October 2013.
So as an HIV, you know, advocacy group here in Singapore, what are the challenges you're facing?
I think the ability to create an enabling environment to increase the visibility of people living with HIV and their families as part of everyday Singapore is one of the biggest challenges we face in Singapore.
All right, so Avin, you're living with this condition. So what do you think, you know, needs to be done? What more can be done to actually, you know, sort of improve the quality of life for people who are living with AIDS?
Well, to echo what Kevin has shared, to create a more enabling environment for people to speak up safely and also to include person living with HIV at policy-making stages so that we know that whatever that's been coming up from that stage will truly benefit that of person living with HIV.
Right, and Kevin, what's your view on that, to improve the quality of life of those living with AIDS? What needs to be done?
To be fully considered inclusive society, that has to happen, and I'm sure it will happen in the long run.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us. And thank you for my little red ribbon as well. Thank you very much.